A company had just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. They want to implement strict policies when it comes to the security of the Azure resources. So they want to implement the following requirements. Ensure that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy virtual machines of a particular size. So ensure that the virtual machine administrator can only deploy the virtual machine and their dependent resources. Ensure that no one accidentally deletes the virtual machine deployed by the virtual machine administrator team. Which of the following could be used to fulfill the below requirements? Ensure that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy virtual machine and their dependent resources.
Okay. So guys, you understood the situation. Can you please let me know what should be the answer? As we have gone through yesterday also, so you may have the confusion between the Azure logs and the Azure role-based access control. But let me know what will be the correct answer.
Role with access control.
Yeah, it will be the role-based access control only because yeah, we would like to have this the administrator team only to deploy the resources, okay, to delete the resources, so whatever they would like to do, only administrator people are allowed to do it. That's why it will be the role-based access control only. Yeah, okay, perfectly fine. Question, please.
A company has just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. They want to
Mhm.
start deploying resources on the Azure platform. They want to implement a way to logically group the resources, which of the following could be used for the requirement.
Yeah, so yesterday also we have seen, like here it's saying we want to start deploying the source on the Azure platform, right? They want to implement the way of logical group of resources. How exactly group of resources can be done? Azure resource group, right? So we are grouping the sources which are belong from the same category. The logical grouping is going to be possible using the Azure resource group. Even as part of the creation of virtual machine, we have seen each and every source is supposed to be belong from one particular source group. So in this way, we are going to group the sources together. Yeah. Okay. Question, please.
Lucky,
Yeah.
what is the major difference between resource group and resource manager?
Resource manager is like you would like to handle the resources. That is resource manager. But whenever you would like to group them, that is grouping, resource group. If you see resource group, okay, I don't think so. You have gone through this one. Let me show you. Job portal. This is the problem, like guys, whenever we are going through the questions only, not having much idea. Okay, let's see. Let me show you. If you see here, we have the virtual machine. Okay, I am trying to create the virtual machine. Let it open. Okay, so if you see here, resource group, I am supposed to choose the resource group here, right? Subscription will always be there on behalf of any subscription. Only any resource will be created, but source is supposed to be provided as part of the source group. So this is the resource group. Okay, from this group only we are going to identify the resource belong from whom. Suppose we have one resource group which is belong from the development team. We have another resource group which belongs from the test team. We have another resource group which belongs from the production support team. So like this, we will have couple of resource group. Okay, even the kind of the subscription also you can able to see in the future as well, right? Some subscription belong from the HR, some subscription belong from the finance. If it's they having such kind of requirement, then only it is going to be happen. But yeah, resource group is the major thing which is supposed to be happen for binding resources. So virtual machine is one kind of resource. For binding the virtual machine, you are supposed to have this virtual machine under the resource group only. What the visibility? Resource manager have different scenario. We have just seen yesterday, but we are going to see it again. So you will get much more visibility about it. Yeah. But the grouping of resources logically will come from the Azure resource groups only. Yeah. Okay. Question number third, please.
Yes, like
Companies,
Yeah.
a
Please
company is
proceed.
currently plan,
Mhm.
a company is currently planning on setting up resources as a part of their Azure subscription. They
Mhm.
are looking at different security options that can be used to secure their Azure environment. Which of the following could be used for the following requirement? Provide an extra level of security when users log into the Azure portal.
Yeah, guys, tell me. Provide the extra level of security when users log into the Azure portal.
Multi-factor.
Multi-factor
Azure,
authentication.
yeah.
Okay. There are some companies currently planning on setting up resources as part of the Azure subscription. They're looking for the different security option that can be used to secure their Azure environment. Which of the following could be used for the following requirement? Provide the extra level of security when users log into the Azure portal. Yeah, sure. It's well multi-factor authentication only, right? MFA, right? While logging into the Azure portal, they are clear-cut saying provide an extra level of security when users are logging into the Azure portal. Yeah, it's MFA only, multi-factor authentication. Yeah, question number 4, please.
A company is planning on deploying an Azure Windows Server 2016 virtual machine. Would
Mhm.
a VPN be used to encrypt all the traffic from the virtual machine itself to a host on the internet? True or false?
Yeah. So what will be the possible answer, guys? Any idea? VPN will encrypt the traffic, right? We have seen yesterday also. It will encrypt all the traffics. Okay. Okay. Question number 5, please.
Yeah. You are trying to understand the different cloud models. Which of the
Mhm.
following are the advantages of using the private cloud? Choose two answers from the options given below.
Yeah. So yesterday we have seen. What should be the answer, guys?
Better security and high speed.
Yeah. Better security and high scalability. Those are the two factors, right? Okay. Question number 6, please. Question number 6, please.
Yeah. You are planning on deploying an Azure virtual machine. Which of the following storage service is used to store the virtual hard drive files for the virtual?
It's blob.
Yeah. It's a blob. Yeah. Right. Okay. 7 number question, please.
Your company wants to provision a set of Azure virtual machines. An application will be installed on these virtual machines. The company wants to ensure that the user traffic is distributed across the virtual machines. You decide to use the Azure VPN gateway service for traffic distribution. Would this fulfill the requirement?
Hmm.
True or
False.
Hmm. Which service will fulfill the requirement?
Because we
load balancer?
Load balancer, right?
load balancer.
Question number 8, please.
A company is planning on moving some of their on-premises resources to Azure. They
Hmm.
have to provide a business justification for moving to Azure. They have to classify expenses as a part of business justification. Which category would the following expenses come under? Software leasing.
Yeah, we
It's
yesterday have seen.
operating expenditure.
Yeah, a software leasing kind of things will come under the operating expenditure. Yeah, correct. Question number 9, please.
Yeah, a company is uh, a company is planning on deploying the web application to the Azure Web App Service. Would the company administrative team have full control over the underlying machine hosting the web application?
Hmm.
True
Tell
or
me.
false?
Yeah,
It's true.
it's true. Okay.
Yeah, administrative team is there, na? So
Hmm.
administrative team have control of all the machine hosting with all the application.
No, underlying, it's clear cut saying underlying machine hosting means what? It's hardware.
Okay, okay.
It's
Yeah.
hardware. It will be false only. Yeah. Just focus on the terminologies, then you will get visibility. Underline. It's saying full control. Full control means hardware level control also. Hardware level control cannot be possible, right? We are discussing about the cloud right now.
Yeah.
And it's clear cut talking about the Azure Web App Service, which is the platform as a service. So you don't have full control as part of the Azure App Service, right? Okay, it will be false only. Yeah, question number 10,
Yeah.
please.
Your company wants to provision a set of Azure virtual machines. An application will be installed on these virtual machines. The company wants to ensure that the user traffic is distributed across the virtual machines. You decide to use Azure Load Balancer service for traffic distribution. Would this fulfill the requirement, true or false?
Yeah, tell me guys.
It's true.
It's true.
True.
Load balancer is going to help you out. Yeah, right.
It's true.
Hmm. Okay, question number 11, please.
When Azure Virtual Machine is stopped, you continue to pay storage costs associated to the virtual machine. True or false?
True.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Uh,
Yeah, storage is going to be
For
charged
storage,
over
we have
that. Yeah, correct. Question number 12, please.
a company has just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. They want
Mm-hmm.
to implement strict policies when it comes to the security of the Azure resources. They want to implement the following requirements: ensure that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy virtual machines of a particular size. Ensure
Mm-hmm.
that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy virtual machines and their dependent resources. Ensure
Mm-hmm.
that no one can accidentally delete the virtual machines deployed by the virtual machine administrator team. Which
Mm-hmm.
of the following will be used to fulfill these requirements?
Azure
Ensure
role-based access.
Wait. Tell me. Ensure that.
ensure ensure that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy virtual machines of a particular size.
Yeah, it will be again the same thing. Role-based access control only. Right?
Role-based access.
Yeah. Because you're saying can only deploy, right? So this team can only deploy means role-based access control again. Yeah, correct. Question number 13, please.
Yeah, you are planning to set up an Azure free account. By setting up Azure free account, would you only get access to subnet of services after 30 days of for free?
Hmm. Very nice.
False.
False only because we are going to get some of the services for 12 months and there are 25 services which are free of cost for the lifetime. Okay.
You are
14,
trying
please.
to understand the difference. Yeah, you are trying to understand the difference, different cloud models. Which of the following are the advantages of using a hybrid cloud model? Choose two answers from the options given below.
Hmm. Hybrid cloud,
Less
right?
maintenance, less maintenance, and more flexibility.
Yeah, more flexibility for sure. Okay. Less maintenance. Yeah, right, correct. Question number 15, please.
Company has just started using Azure. They have set up resources as a part of their subscription. They
Hmm.
want to get the current cost being incurred. They decide to use the TCO calculator to get these information with this fulfill the requirement. True or
Hmm.
false?
Okay. Tell me, guys, CTO, total cost of, what to say, ownership. Yeah. What should be the answer, guys?
False.
False only because it's not going to give you the incurred cost, right? It is going to give you the total cost. That's why it's false. Yeah, correct. Let's process 16 number question, please.
Yes. A company currently has the following unused resources as a part of their subscription: 10
Hmm.
user accounts in Azure AD, 5 user groups in Azure AD, public IP addresses, 10 network interfaces. They want to reduce the cost for resources hosted in Azure. They decide to remove the user groups from the Azure AD. Would
Mhm.
this fulfill the requirement?
Hmm. Tell me, guys, what should be the answer? Yeah, any idea?
False only because they
Mm-hmm.
decide to remove the user group from the Azure AD. Would
Mm-hmm.
this fulfill the requirement? I don't think so.
Yeah, it will
Because
be false
without
only. Yeah.
AD, how you can manage the users group?
Mm-hmm. Right, correct answer only. Guys, yes, in the last question, I hope so. This is the correct. Okay, not this one. Okay, so only for 30 days. Only for 30. You are applying to set a job to your account by setting up a Azure account. Would you get only? Okay, false. Correct. Fine. Mm, let's proceed. Yeah. Okay. Question number 17, please.
Your company has just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. Is it mandatory for the company to implement all Azure security recommendation within a period of 30 days in order to maintain Microsoft support? True or false?
False only. We have seen we are not supposed to only follow the recommendation, then only Microsoft will provide the security. Microsoft enable the security by default, but it's just your responsibility. You are also supposed to maintain the security at your level. Okay, perfect. Question number 18, please.
Your company is planning on setting up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant using Azure Active Directory. Does Azure Active Directory provide authentication services for services hosted in Azure and Microsoft Office 365? True or false?
Hmm. What should be the answer, guys?
True.
So how exactly?
Um,
It's correct only, but how exactly? Yeah, it's a true only. Like
because Active
whenever.
Directory,
Hmm.
Because Active Directory already provide the authentication, right?
Right.
yes,
It's true only. Perfectly fine. Yeah, question number 19, please.
a company has just started using Azure. They
Hmm.
have set up resources as a part of their subscription. They want to get the current cost being incurred. They
Hmm.
decide to use pricing calculator to get the information. Would this fulfill the requirement? True or false?
The pricing calculator is going to give you what? Cost of the service, not the incurred cost, right? So it is again false, right?
Who will give the incurred cost then?
That we are going to see the service actually. I'm just waiting for that scenario. Scenario will come. Okay. Okay. Question number 20, please.
A company is planning on moving some of their on-premises resources to Azure. They have to provide a business justification for moving to Azure. They have to classify expenses as a part of business justification. Which
Mhm.
category would the following expense come under? Coding expenses.
Cooling,
Cooling, yeah,
cooling,
sorry, cool.
cooling expenses. Guys, tell me what should be the answer? Cooling expenses.
Capital expenditure.
How exactly it can be the capital expenditure? Cooling. Cooling, when exactly you are going to do the cooling? I know that it will be costly to have the setup of the cooling, but when exactly you are going to do the cooling? When your servers are up and running, right? So you would like to make your server cool,
Hmm.
then what should be the expenditure? Operating only, right?
Operating expenditure.
Operating only, yeah, you are calling expenses, right? It's clear cut saying a company is planning to moving some of their on-premises resources to Azure. They have to provide the business justification for moving to the Azure. They have classified the expenses as part of the business justification. What would be the expense will come under the cooling expenses? It will be the operating expenditure, right? Because anyhow, anyway, you are going to use some particular cooling device for near to 5 to 10 years, and within 2 years of time, you will be able to have the um, cost recovered, but the cooling which you are doing each and every time is going to cost you, right? That's why it will be the operating expenditure only. When you will do the cooling when servers are up and running. Okay, question number 21, please.
Company is planning on using the Azure Firewall service. Would the Azure Firewall service encrypt all network traffic sent from Azure to the internet? True or
No, it's
false?
yeah. What should be the answer, guys?
False.
False. They are not supposed to encrypt the traffic, right? They are supposed to restrict the traffic. Okay. Okay. Question number 22, please.
A company has just started using Azure. They have just acquired a subscription and created an Azure tenant.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they have to go to create users and groups for their Azure AD tenant?
Mm-hmm.
Azure Active Directory.
Azure Active Directory only. Yeah, company have just started using the Azure. They have to acquire the subscription and the created an Azure tenant. Okay, so where do they have to go to create users and groups for their Azure Active tenant? Yeah, that is Azure Active Directory. Yeah, question number 23, please.
A company is currently planning on setting up resources as a part of their Azure subscription. They
Mm-hmm.
are looking at different security options that can be used to secure their Azure environment. Which of the following could be used for the following requirement?
Mm-hmm.
Provide protection against distributed denial of service attacks.
Yeah.
Azure DDoS protection.
Yeah, Azure DDoS protection, correct? Yeah. 24th, please.
Company has just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. They want to implement strict policies when it comes to the security of the Azure resources. They
Mm-hmm.
want to implement the following requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Ensure that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy the virtual machines of a particular size.
Mm-hmm.
Ensure that the virtual machine administrator team can only deploy virtual machines and their dependent resources. Ensure that no one can accidentally delete the virtual machines deployed by the virtual machine administrator team. Which of the following could be used to fulfill the below requirement? Ensure that no one can accidentally delete the virtual machines deployed by the virtual machine administrator team.
It's the same question he asked a
24.
Azure
couple
role
of
based.
times. Azure, no, no, no. How it can be role based? It's saying you
That
would like to
one
have the protection
delete
from the
also.
deletion.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
delete. Azure lock.
Azure law. Yeah. Ria, your voice is little bit echoing, so you do one thing, just try to have the mic near to you if you're using the headphones. Yeah. Okay, 25th, please.
Yes. A company has just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. They
Mm-hmm.
want to start deploying resources on the Azure platform. They want to implement a way to deploy resources so that they would be located closest to the user accessing those resources. Which of the following could be used for this requirement?
Your voice. Any idea? Near to the locations, closest near location. What should be that? You are staying in India. You are supposed to be access the server which are in India. What is the closest location near to you? Guys, it should be the Azure region only, right?
Azure is on.
A company just set up an Azure subscription in Azure tenant. They want to start deploying the sources into the Azure platform. They want to implement a way to deploy the sources so that they would be located closest to the users accessing the resources. Okay. Which of the following? So it's placing closest to the user accessing resources. What would be the which of the following could be used for this requirements? Azure region only, right? Okay. 26, please.
Company is currently planning on setting up resources as a part of their Azure subscription. They are looking at different security options that can be used to secure their Azure environment. Which of the
Mhm.
following could be used for the following requirement? Provide a store that can be used to store secrets.
Right. How exactly from where we are going to store?
Azure Key Vault.
Azure
Azure
Key
Key
Vault.
Vault.
Yeah, it's clear cut. Azure Key Vault only. Yeah. Okay. Let's proceed. 27, please.
Company is planning on using an Azure storage account. They are
Mhm.
planning on provisioning an Azure storage account of the kind general purpose V2.
Mhm.
Would the company be charged only for the amount of data stored and not for the amount of data read and write operations?
Yeah. So it's false only yesterday we have seen the read and write means will comes another data transfer and data transfer is going to be charged along with the storage as well, right? It will be the false only. Okay. 28, please.
Company is planning on setting up an database on Azure SQL database service. Would
Mm-hmm.
the company creative team have full control over the underlying server hosting the Azure SQL database?
Yeah, it's false only, right? Because I already told you, see, questions are repeating, but that's fine. Because sometimes you will also identify as part of the practice paper, maybe as part of the Azure also. And maybe one or two questions are being repeating, same as it is. It will be false only. Cannot have the full control underlying server hosting, right? I told you. Hosting means what? You're hosting the server. So hosting the way can be distributed, can be dedicated. Okay. So mostly in terms of the hosting, if they are asking full control, means it's they're talking about the dedicated, and that is not going to be happen because anyhow anyway we don't have physical servers here, right? Okay, 29 question, please.
Your company is planning on setting up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant using Azure Active Directory. Would the
Mhm.
company need to implement domain controllers on Azure virtual machines to use the Azure AD service?
Domain
False.
controller is not required anymore, right? So yeah, false only. Okay, question number 30, please.
A company is planning on moving some of their on-premises resources to Azure. They have to provide a business justification for moving to Azure. They have
Mm-hmm.
to classify expenses as a part of the business justification.
Mm-hmm.
Which category would the following expense comes under?
Mm-hmm.
New on-premise performance cluster to host a big data solution.
Yeah, they would like to have the new clusters, right? On-premises performance clusters. What will be come under? Tell me, guys. It is clear cut saying yeah, they are purchasing some servers, capital expenditure, right?
Great.
Capital expenditure.
How it can be operating? They are purchasing something, so they have to invest money first, right? Then only they are going to operate. Cooling or software leasing may comes under the operating, right? But if you are investing something for purchasing the clusters, right? That will comes under the capital expenditure only. Okay, 31, please.
A company is planning on setting up an Azure subscription and
Mm-hmm.
an Azure team using Azure Active Directory. When assigning product licenses to the Azure Active Directory users,
Mm-hmm.
would a user be limited to the assignment of a single product license only?
Tell me, guys.
I think so.
Think, yeah? No, read
True.
it properly. I'm going to read it properly. See. Our company is planning on setting up an Azure subscription and Azure tenant using Azure Active Directory. They are when assigning product license to the Azure Active Directory users, would our user be limited to the assignment of the single product license only? It's they are talking about what? Product license, right? So single user only they are asking, single product license only. You are going to assign the single license only for the single user. Guys, one user can have multiple license also, right? Not only one license. Are you getting my point? It's clear cut saying assignment of the single product license only. Means it will be false. You can have the license of Oracle, you can have the license of other paid services, right? Web servers, web logics, all those kind of licenses if you would like to have as part of your product. It's clear cut saying when assigning product license to the Azure Active Directory users, would a user be limited to the assignment of a single product license only? So false. Product user can have multiple license, right? As part of the single thing. Okay, question number 32, please.
A company is planning on storing 1 TB of data in Azure Blob Storage.
Mm-hmm.
Would the cost of data storage be same regardless of the region the data is stored in?
Yeah. So tell me guys,
It's
what should be the answer?
false.
Okay. How exactly?
Uh, because it is asking the regardless of the region the data stored in, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it varies from region to region.
Yeah, right. Right. Correct answer only. Yeah. Cost varies now. We know the cost is being varied. I already explained as part of the second chapter, like each and every region having different means different subscriptions, right? Different pricing models. Okay. Question number 33, please.
Yes. A team has an object named audio.log stored in the blog service in the Azure storage account. A
Mm-hmm.
partial snapshot of the properties is given below. Which of the following needs to be done before the object can be accessed?
Yesterday we have seen, right? We have to go through the
Yeah, did.
rehydrate the object. Yeah. Okay. 32, 34, please.
You are trying to understand the different cloud models. Which of the
Hmm.
following are the advantages of using a public cloud?
Yeah,
Choose
public
two
cloud.
consistent options.
Hmm. Tell me, guys, what is the advantage of the public cloud?
Lower capital cost,
Perfect. And
um,
High reliability.
high
right,
availability.
right. High reliability, right? Yeah, perfect. Okay, 35, please.
A company currently has the following unused resources as a part of their subscription: 10
Mm-hmm.
user account in Azure AD, 5
Mm-hmm.
user group in Azure AD, 10
Mm-hmm.
public IP addresses, 10 network interfaces. So they want to reduce the cost for resources hosted in Azure. They
Mm-hmm.
decide to remove the public IP addresses. Would
Mm-hmm.
this fulfill the requirement?
They decide to remove the public IP addresses. Yeah, guys, it will reduce the cost, that is for sure. Yeah. If you don't know, then we need to go through it. I'm going to explain you as part of the third chapter. Okay. How exactly it is going to reduce the cost, but it will be true only. Right. Okay. Yes, proceed. Great. Question number 36, please.
A company has just started using Azure. They have set up resources as a part of their subscription. They want to get the current cost being incurred. They decide to use Azure Cost Management to get this information. Would this
Hmm.
fulfill the requirement?
See, you are talking about the incurred cost, right? Again. So incurred cost,
Mm,
this is the tool which is going to help you out to identify the incurred cost. That's why I was saying just wait for the scenario. So this is for the incurred cost that is comes under the cost management. Okay. So incurred cost is going to be happen from the Azure cost management. Pricing calculator is basically the cost only. Okay. Not the incurred cost, or the TCO, total cost of ownership, is for the migration from on-premises to the Azure. So all three are the different services, all three different services having different scenario. Okay, but this is the correct answer, which is Azure Cost Management is going to be help you out to identify the incurred cost. Okay, that is going to let you know the monthly cost. So just do remember, question will be there because those services seems to be same. That's why the question will be there, and you are supposed to be confused as part of those questions. That's why I'm just explaining here. Yeah. Okay. Question number 37, please.
A company is planning on setting up a solution on the Azure platform.
Mm-hmm.
The solution has the following main key requirement:
Mm-hmm.
provide a service that could be used to quickly provision development and test environment,
Mm-hmm.
minimize waste of resources with the help of the codes
Mm-hmm.
and policies. Which of the following would be best suited for this requirement?
Yeah. So yesterday we have seen you are provisioning the development and test environment, right? So that can be done for what? That can be done using the Azure Dev Test Labs. Yeah. Got the visibility? Okay. Question number 38, please.
Company is planning on setting up a solution on the Azure platform. The solution has the following main key requirement: provide a managed tool set that could be used to manage and scale container-based application. Which of the
Mm-hmm.
following would be best suited for this requirement?
The container-based applications means very simple. Kubernetes only, right?
Kubernetes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Question number 39, please.
A company is currently planning and setting up resources as a part of their Azure subscription. They
Mm-hmm.
are looking at different security options that can be used to secure their Azure environment. Which
Mm-hmm.
of the following could be used for the following requirement? Provide the ability to restrict traffic into Azure virtual machine.
Mm. Yeah, so whenever we would like to restrict the traffic inside the virtual machine, so we know there are two kind of things are there at the virtual machine level or at the subnet level. So we are talking about the virtual machine level means that is for sure. Azure
Network
network
security.
security groups. Yeah. Okay, question number 40, please.
Company has just set up an Azure subscription and an Azure tenant. They
Mm-hmm.
want to start deploying resources on the Azure platform. They
Mm-hmm.
want to use an Azure service that could be used to create and update the resources as a group rather than handling them individually
Mm-hmm.
within the Azure subscription. So, which of the following could be used for this requirement?
Yeah, guys, tell me.
Azure
Any
Resource Group.
Resource group.
resource group? No, read it carefully. It's not talking about the creating the logical groups, right? You were asking me, Lucky, when you will use the resource manager. Just read it. This is the resource manager only. A company have just set up an Azure subscription in Azure tenant. They want to start deploying the resources on the Azure platform. They want to use the Azure services that could be used to create and update the resources as a group. Okay, it's clear cut requirement. They want to use the Azure service that could be used to create and update the source as a group rather than handling them individually. Okay. So what would be the subscription? So you individually handling is going to be happen in what? That is different thing, right? You are not having the groups. They are talking about the creation and updation of the groups that is going to be happen using the Azure Resource Manager. Yeah.